I'm Daniel, I'm a first year history and politics student at Magdalen College, and I'm from Peterborough. My journey to Oxford wasn't exactly linear. I originally wasn't going to apply to Oxford at all, but then I participated on Unique. I really enjoyed the week-long experience, and I just loved the academic sessions and getting to speak to people who were so passionate about their subject. And because of that experience and because of how welcoming Oxford were, it is why I actually applied to Oxford in the end. So I start my day off usually by waking up at around 7:45 or 8 am. I'll spend some time just reading my social media and the news and catching up with any emails or anything that's happened overnight. And then after that, I usually sort out some breakfast. So this morning I'm off to the dining hall, but some days I'll also just have some cereal in my room. Now I'm going to go for my morning walk around Addison's Walk and the Deer Park, which are some of Magdalen's grounds. So now that I've had my morning walk, I'm going to get myself ready and then I'm going to go off to the Social Sciences Library because I've got a slot booked this morning so that I can do some reading for my next essay, which is coming up. So I've just got back from studying for a few hours in the Social Sciences Library. This morning I was doing some reading about John Stuart Mill. I was just getting a general understanding of what theories he'd proposed and some arguments and responses to those. So just, as I say, picking out the key information so that I can start to prepare for an essay which I've got due in the next few days. I've also been reading through some essays from my tutorial partners because I have a tutorial later today which is going to be focused on the concept of democracy. So I was just having a look through those, seeing what they've argued and seeing how I'd respond to them so that I can go in really with some good ideas to bring to the discussion. But actually what I'm going to go do now is go back to the dining hall to go and get some lunch. I actually eat most of the time in the dining hall because I really like the food and I find it good value. It's around £2.50 for breakfast and between £3 and £4 usually for lunch and dinner. So that's what I'm going to go do now, just before my tutorial, which is coming up in the next hour or so. Okay, so I've just had my lunch, so I'm going to get ready for the tutorial, which is starting in about 5 minutes time. As I say, today we're focusing on democracy. It's going to be an hour and a half, and I find tutorials really useful for just getting a better understanding of the topic, areas where I possibly want to do more research, and also it's great particularly when the tutor challenges your point of view, because it encourages you to think more deeply about the arguments that you've made. So I've just got out the tutorial, and I think it was a very useful tutorial, particularly as I'd struggled with this conceptual question. So it was really good to just get a better understanding of that and hear others' perspectives on that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to watch a lecture. Because of COVID this year, the vast majority of lectures have been online. So we have to do is just log onto an online platform and then we can just watch the lecture, and I make some notes on it so that I have something to refer to. And actually it's a revision lecture because I've got some exams coming up, so it should be quite useful for refreshing over the topic and also from approaching it slightly differently with this new content being covered. So I've just finished making notes on the lecture. I'm actually going to be going to a meeting in a second because I'm involved a little bit with student journalism. So I'm going to go and have a conversation with them about what sort of stories they've been working on and just seeing what other things we've heard and what other stories we think are worth considering and looking more into. And then after that I'm going to go to dinner. I usually try and stick to around 10 till 6 usually is about my study hours. However, of course, today I've got a meeting at 5, so what I'll do is I'll be making up that time slightly later to ensure that I'm keeping on track with my studies but keeping balanced at the same time. So I've just finished the news meeting. I'm going to go get some dinner now from Hall, and then after that I'm doing some more social events this evening. So I'm going to a Zoom discussion event about politics with some people at home, and then after that I'll be doing some study, as I say. It's making up for that hour which I took out of the day earlier on. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be reflecting on the essay feedback that I received based on the essay that was discussed in the tutorial earlier. Then after that I'm going to do some reading just to finish off the day, just to make sure that I've got as much work done as I can do in the time. So it's coming to the end of the day now. I've finished all the academic work for today. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spend a little bit of time working on a theatre show which is going to be opening quite soon, which I'm the lighting designer for. And then after that I'm going to have some time off away from the screen before I head to bed. So that's it. I hope you've enjoyed a day in my life.